Hey, I'm Kayla, and surprise, I'm doing a second video today. This video is about my predictions, my theories of why Jake Paul acts the way he does, and what I think Shane might uncover in his new series, The Mind of Jake Paul. I have 4 theories that I'm going to talk about what I think might be causing Jake Paul's behavior. I would not be surprised if any of these 4 or multiple of these 4 are uncovered in the series. I don't know for sure. I don't know Jake Paul. I don't know Shane Dawson. I don't know them personally. I couldn't tell you what's going to happen. I don't know. I first want to say I don't want this to seem negative towards anybody. I'm not trying to make Jake Paul or Shane Dawson or anyone else I talk about look bad at all. I respect them. I think that they're probably good people. I don't want to make anybody look bad or throw anybody under the bus. That's not my intention. So the first theory I want to talk about is that Disney might be related to it somehow. First of all, I love Disney Channel. I watch Disney still to this day, even though I'm 21. I've watched Disney since I was a kid. I have nothing against them. I don't even really think it's entirely their fault. I think that there are some Disney stars who, when you're on Disney Channel, Disney is a kid-friendly channel. And that's fine. And because they're a kid-friendly channel, they don't want things on their channel like sex, drugs, alcohol, things like that. Because that's not something that you want to show to a kid audience. That's not something that you really want people to see till they're, early teens or whatever. So I understand them not wanting to have that kind of content. That makes complete sense. However, a lot of their actors are teenagers. People who are hitting puberty and they're going through that time in their life where they want to go get drunk and go get high or go, have sex with people. Because that's what happens when you hit puberty. A lot of times during those few years when you're in puberty, from early teens till about my age, honestly, to like college age, you're young and stupid. You're in that stage where you think nothing bad will happen to you and you want to go try out alcohol and you want to try out drugs and you're curious about that stuff. And so people experiment during that time. They experiment with sex. Usually it's during those years when you determine whether you're gay or straight and stuff like that. And because of that, because most of the Disney stars are in that age range and they can't do those things that most people their age would want to try to do, and they're being limited, I think that when they finally are done with their contract with Disney, whenever that may be, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, and they're able to go do those things, they kind of go crazy a little bit at first. They're like, oh, I can do all this stuff now. And they have that phase for a short time and they kind of go crazy. I think a good example of this would be Miley Cyrus. When she finished with Hannah Montana, I think it was not long after that she did the whole wrecking ball thing and got very sexual. But it didn't last very long and now she's normal again. And I think that part of that has to do with her finally being done with Disney and being able to express herself and not having to be censored, and not be able to cuss or drink or smoke or any of that stuff. And as far as I know, I don't think she ever had an alcohol problem or a drug problem or anything like that. But I wouldn't be surprised if she experimented. And like being sexual now that she can, or being, cussing now, because that's another thing is you can't cuss on Disney Channel. And like I said, nothing bad against Disney, but it makes sense that someone who has been limited for so long during those years where you want the opposite of that, when they're finally free to go do those things, they might go crazy a little. It's kind of like Amish people. When you're Amish, you're not allowed to use technology. And until you're like 18, you're not allowed to use technology. And then when you turn 18, I think it's 18, you are allowed to go out into the world for a week or a month or however long it is. I think it's a week. I'm not sure. But you're allowed to go out into the world for a little while. And you can go play with technology and go gamble and drink and watch TV and all that stuff. And you can either say, this is awesome, I want to stay here and just never go back. Or you can go back to your Amish family and continue to be Amish for the rest of your life. But they have that chance. But because that first 18 years of their life, they were forced to not use technology, now that they finally can, they kind of go crazy with it a little bit. Because I can finally do this, you know? So that's my first theory, is that Disney could be contributing to it. However, a reason why this theory might not make that much sense is because Jake Paul's behavior has lasted quite a while. It wasn't a brief, going crazy moment after he was done with Disney. It's lasted for quite a while. And also, I think the first thing he did that was crazy happened while he was still on Disney, and I want to say they fired him because of it. But I'm not positive. I think that's what I heard. Don't quote me on that. That could be wrong. But that's my first theory. My second theory of what might be the cause is maybe someone's controlling him. Maybe there's someone behind the scenes, be it his parents, a producer, YouTube. I don't know. I don't know who it is, but I think maybe there's someone behind the camera that's forcing him to act a certain way and do certain things, and telling him he needs to do this for views, or he's gonna get kicked off of Team 10 or something. And so he's doing it because he's scared that if he doesn't, he'll lose his fame. And so that could be why. Or he's being, that, or it could be he's being controlled so much in his personal life that he feels like the only place he has that freedom is on YouTube. So he goes crazy in his videos because that's the only time he can. Again, these are all just theories. My third theory is that maybe it's all an act. Maybe, okay, let me backtrack for a minute. If you think about someone like, let's say, we'll do Shane Dawson. That's a good example. Shane Dawson used to have characters like Shanae and Aunt Hilda and Ned's Nerd World and all that, right? Fruit Loop, all those characters. Well, I don't mean it's all an act, like he's putting on a fake character and he's not Jake Paul kind of thing. That's not the kind of act I'm talking about. I'm talking about something like when someone might act, a lot happier on YouTube than they are in real life. Take me, for example. Now that I'm not happy, I am, but I tend to seem on YouTube, I think, a lot more outgoing. I talk a lot. I tell you guys personal things. I do all these things that make me seem like a pretty outgoing person, right? But if you saw me in my real day-to-day life at school or something, you would see that I'm the shyest person ever. So, but that's kind of an act I put on. I don't act shy in front of the camera and just sit here and kind of not talk and look down, because you wouldn't want to watch me if I did that. I also don't feel like I need to be shy in front of the camera because no one's actually in front of me judging me. But yeah, the way I act on camera isn't exactly the same way that I act in real life. And I think that for Jake Paul, he could be doing a radical version of that on his channel, where his character on his channel is 100% different from who he is in his personal life. And, in his personal life, he's the opposite of this crazy person that does all these stunts. In real life, maybe he's a really nice guy that really cares about people. And it's all just an act for the views. I could see this making a lot of sense. Because, like I said, I think a lot of YouTubers do this on a much smaller scale. So I think it can make a lot of sense that he could be doing it just on a much larger scale. And my fourth theory is maybe it's a little bit of sibling rivalry. Maybe the reason that Jake Paul is acting like this and being so crazy is because he thinks it's the only way to outfame his brother. Maybe he's tired of being the little brother. Maybe Logan got famous first. I don't remember. And maybe Jake is tired of Logan getting all the attention, so he thought that he needed to act out and be crazy to get attention, so that he could get attention instead of Logan. A reason why I think this makes sense is actually a personal example. My little brother. My little sister, when she was born, had some issues, medical issues. I'll go into that in another video if you're curious. It's actually very interesting. And she was in the hospital for a while as a baby. And my brother at the time was like 1 or 2. I think he was like 1. And so he didn't understand what was happening. All he understood was, I'm not getting attention. So he would act out because he wasn't getting attention. As he got older and my sister was still getting more attention because she had medical problems for a while, he would get mad and he would do things like throwing toys at people. Or we would wake up one day and there'd be shampoo all over the floor or something. Because he would wake up earlier than everybody else and be really quiet so no one heard him wake up. And he wouldn't come wake anybody up. He would just kind of get out of his crib or whatever, or bed, and just run off and, go play and do crazy stuff. I'm trying to think of more examples. But he's done a lot of crazy stuff, and it wasn't because he just felt like being bad, I don't think. I think it was him trying to get attention. He wanted the attention that my sister was getting. So he was acting out to try to get that attention. So I think part of Jake Paul's issue could be he's not getting as much attention as Logan. So he's acting out in a major way to try to get attention. I don't know how likely this one is because it almost seems counterproductive in a way, but it's plausible. So those are my 4 theories on what I think is going to happen on the Shane Dawson series. I love Shane Dawson. I watch his videos all the time. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. I can't wait to see what happens with this series, and I think you all should go watch if you haven't yet, because so far it's pretty great. And as far as Jake Paul, I don't love Jake Paul, but I don't hate Jake Paul. He's not really someone I've watched much. So I'm kind of indifferent towards him right now. But I would not be surprised if by the end of this series I start watching his videos. Because the last series that Shane did about Jeffree Star, by the time that was over, I liked Jeffree. I've checked out his makeup line. I've watched a few of his videos. I haven't bought any of his makeup because it's crazy expensive, but yeah, it got me interested in that person. So this could do that for me with Jake Paul, or it could uncover that Jake Paul's an asshole. I don't know. But those are all the theories I have for you guys today. Like I said, the series is amazing so far. You should go check it out. Support Shane. He's amazing. Shane, if you happen to watch this video, you're amazing. I love your videos. Keep doing stuff like this. I would love to be in one of your videos. If there's ever a reason that you need a fan in a video, I would love to meet you. I'm sort of trying to do a similar thing on my channel as you, but not exactly the same. So I would love to get ideas from you and, get a chance to meet you. So if you want to help a fan make their YouTube channel better, I'm right here. And to Jake Paul, if you see this video for some reason, I have nothing against you. I'm sure you're a great guy. I really don't know yet. I hope this series works to your advantage and clears your name and shows that you really are a great guy. And maybe I'll subscribe by the end of it. I think that's all I have to say for this video. I will see you guys next time, and goodbye.